Hello, and welcome to the Dementia Dish with Danielle from the Alzheimer's Society of Peel. I'm a public education coordinator, and I'm coming to you today to talk about active minds. So exercise isn't always physical. Sometimes exercise is for our brains, and it is actually a very recommended activity. So have you ever heard of brain yoga? This is possibly one of the easiest activities, yet highly mentally challenging, not just for the elderly, but for anyone. And no equipment is required, and it can be done anywhere. And all you need is yourself. The aim of brain yoga is to stimulate your brain using only your body to improve your motor abilities, which will in turn improve your neural pathways and improve your eye-hand coordination, resulting in increased mental activities. So, how do we do brain yoga? So, why don't we try something challenging together? Make a fist and extend your thumb. Make another fist and extend your pinky. And then you are going to alternate using your pinky and your thumb from alternating hands. Alternatively, you can use your pointer finger and your pinky finger, and you can alternate that. So give that a try. It's a little harder than it looks, actually, but it is a good mental challenge. If you are in early stages of dementia, or you're just a person wanting to help to improve your processing speed, memory, things of that nature, there are some websites that may be useful to you. So we've listed a few here: Luminosity, Cognifit, Peak, Brain HQ. All of these have great challenging activities on them, and they give you, some scores for your processing speed and your improvements and things like that. You can also do the alphabet game. So in the alphabet game, you are taking the standard alphabet and you are using things like the months, flowers, provinces, vegetables, and trying to put them in alphabetical order. You can take a letter from the alphabet and, for example, an S, and name all the things you can wear on your feet that start with an S. So it might be sneakers and sandals and that sort of thing. You can say 2 objects for every letter in your first or last name. And each time you go through the exercise, you could try to come up with different words. You could do a shopping list where you try to come up with the name of a food for every letter in the alphabet, which you can imagine when you get to Q's and Z's, it can be quite challenging. You can also Google search brain games, free brain teasers, and just, thousands upon thousands will come up. You can do 2 or 3 different ones a day. They can be very fun and interesting. And to best challenge the brain, doing different kinds. So mixing it up with some word games, some riddles, some math puzzles, just having a variety can be really great for the brain. The classics are always great. They're classics for a reason. So crosswords, Sudoku, word searches, these are all things that can be beneficial. And for other activities, jigsaw puzzles, which is one of my favorites. You can use get ones with bigger, larger pieces if it becomes difficult to use little pieces for mobility. You can get extremely challenging puzzles or ones that have fewer pieces, a lot easier. You can do common sayings, common expressions, where you give a portion of the saying and leave the ending up to the person to answer. So, for example, 2 heads are better than one being a common expression. Opposites, so you state an objective, adjective, and you have the person give you the opposite word. So you would give the word stop, and you'd be looking for the word go. You might want to recite nursery rhymes that the person knows from their childhood. And so you start the nursery rhyme and then have the person continue it and finish it. And even in late stages of dementia, it's quite important to continue to exercise the brain and for there to be some stimulation. And the idea in the later stages is to use the senses, the five senses, as a way to stimulate the brain. And so there are some products out there that you may find useful. There's things like twiddle muffs, twiddle aprons, twiddle blankets. So in the pictures here on the slide, we have example of an apron, an example of a blanket. And what they have on them is all kinds of different objects that are sewn on, buttons, zippers, different textures, bells, things that make some noises. And this is to stimulate all of those senses. So hearing of the bells and touch, and all those seeing and feeling, all those senses are engaged. Also important in the end stage is to provide, still some stimulation. And this often will come in the form of hearing and touch. So rubbing of hands, gentle massage, reading to the person so they're hearing your voice, singing familiar songs for the person that the person always enjoyed or were some of their favorites. One, it can bring a lot of comfort, but two, it also is providing some mental stimulation. If you're interested in finding out some more information about the Alzheimer's Society's services or about some other activities that may be great for exercising the brain, please feel free to reach out to the Alzheimer's Society of Peel. And please connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on YouTube. And please like and subscribe to our YouTube Dementia Dish. And I hope to see you at our next Dementia Dish.